How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Manatee Gaming. In today's video, we're going to be looking at some investing on old school RuneScape. This is an extremely easy investing method that I've been doing for quite a while, several years, and it is just a really good method. So if you've got some extra cash and you want to learn how to invest the easy way, then here we go. So I did previously make a different video about old school RuneScape investing, and then now we have another one. I'm going to show you exactly how this one works. This one is pretty simple. And it kind of just follows the exact same pattern over and over and over again. So if you look right here, we've got the blue Dragonhides. So blue Dragonhide, as you can see right here, I did sell them for $18.59, even though the market price is currently $16.23. We've got green Dragonhide over here. I sold for $14.49, even though the market is $12.99. And then we've got $36.27 on the black Dragonhides, even though the market is $32.83. So essentially what I am doing is I am buying up the Dragonhides during the time when it is a really good time to pick them up, like when they are lower, and then I'm selling them when they are much higher. So this, that may seem like a no-brainer, but let me show you the graphs and let me show you exactly how you can know when to buy these things and what to sell them for. So even though this is an old school RuneScape investing method, it does have to do with RS3, which is interesting. So whether people would like to agree with it or not, there's quite a few people that play both games. Actually, most of the players play both games. And maybe they don't play each one at the same time or all the time or whatever, but they do definitely bounce back and forth between the two games. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our double XP live information for RS3. And then once you hit this, then you're going to look at the events. And then once you've clicked events on this, it will tell you what the dates are for the previous events. Now, this is the information you're going to need in order to be able to figure out how to invest into the Dragonhides on old school RuneScape. It's kind of funny how this works out, but what we're going to do is we're going to keep in mind what these dates are right here. So we've got the actual event of most recent is like right here, and then the previous events as they go down. So let's take a look at the old school RuneScape wiki and we can see how these two connect. So now that we're back on the old school RuneScape wiki, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at the price for each one of our items. As you can see right here, we've got the red Dragonhide. That was one of the items that I showed you that I was selling. So what we're going to do is we need to go to the osrs wiki and then look at the live prices. So this will tell you what the prices literally are. If you go by the graph as far as just the regular wiki graph, that will not be that accurate because it's just going to tell you what the movement of the mid price is for the item, which is not too useful when you're trying to find out what things actually buy and sell for. So what we're going to need to do is look at the live prices. That way we can see what things we're actually trading for. So if we're looking right here, let's actually look at the black Dragonhide first, because I feel like the black Dragonhide is a little bit easier to read and to see as an example, because black Dragonhide is there's a lot more black Dragonhides in the game than there are red Dragonhides. Red Dragonhides are a little bit more rare. So let's look at the black Dragonhide because it'll be a little bit easier to read. And we're going to click on the 1 year, and then we want to put it on 1 year because that way we can look at all those different dates I was talking about for the RS3 double XP. So our most recent RS3 double XP was the 16th of February to the 26th of February. So if you look right here on this graph, we can see that, as you can see, as soon as that like that double XP prep time was happening. So if we just literally drag over here, we can zoom this in a little bit too. So we've got the February, and then what you can see is what happens is right before the double XP, the item dipped all the way down and then started to rise back up again as the double XP started. All you gotta do is double click the graph and then you'll be able to reset it. Now let's look at the November 10 and November 20th, because that was the one previous to that. So we look at November, and then as you can see, once again, November 10, it just drops all the way down, and that is literally November 10 to November 20. If we go ahead and zoom in on this one too, we can see that November 10 was right here. This is the graph is a little bit touchy, but November 10, and it just dips all the way down until double XP ends. So once again, it did dip down at that time again. And then if we look previous to that one at July 28 to August 7, so we're going to look back here at July. Let's go ahead and zoom in right here. And then we've got July 28th. So we're actually coming to the end of July here. July 28th until August 7, and once again, it dips down here as well. As you can see, it's not like the exact same dip each time. It doesn't dip down the same amount. It kind of bounces all around. But as you can see, there is a reoccurring theme, and that is that every single time there is a double XP for RS3, then the item does dip down. And the main reason why is because a lot of people will swap their gold over to RS3, and that way they can prep up for double XP. And they also just in general are playing RS3 in order to be able to get their items ready for double XP. So that will cause a dip in the item on old school RuneScape. If we look at the green dragon hide, I'm not going to go through every single one of the dragon hides, but you can kind of see that we're going to see the exact same trend here. So if you look right here for 16 Feb until 26 February again, it once again dips down. You can clearly see it. I don't even have to zoom in. You just like, it already goes down. And then we've got November 10 and November 20. It once again will dip down right here. It once again dips down and then pops back up. So there's a couple things that we can look at from this graph here. And that is that, number one, you know that you can buy up the dragon hides when a double XP is like in the prep time. And then as double XP is starting to end on RS3, or it's like midway through or whatever, you know that the items will bounce back up. So even if you don't want to hold on to these for a very long time, you can definitely do it as kind of a quick flip. What I will typically do myself is I will not try to ride this trend exactly the way I see it here. I will show you on my old school RuneScape account actually like what I usually will do. So on my old school RuneScape account, you can see what I did is I put it at a high point. This is like a point that the item usually hits. And then what I will do personally, and this makes this a very easy and relaxed way of doing it without having to read graphs to the exact point, is that you can just simply put your buy offer in for dragon hides at the low for the year, and then you can put them at kind of towards the high for the year. As you can see, I didn't sell quite all of these off. I am missing like just a few in order for me to sell them all off, but I did sell off a vast majority of them. For the blue dragon hides doing that method, I did get a full sale on this one. And then for the black dragon hides, I also did sell them all. And then red dragon hides, I didn't quite sell as many as I was hoping to this last time around. But as you can see though, the red dragon hides, as the mid price right now is $21.47, you can probably even buy them for less than this mid. And then I was selling for $26.39. That is a huge profit margin on these. So even though I wasn't able to get rid of all of these, I was able to get rid of quite a few of them for a pretty good profit. I did sell about 124,000 hides. And since I am making roughly 500 each, minus the taxes, that is a lot of money that I was able to make off of these hides. So if you were to invest a pretty large amount of money into dragon hides and do kind of like a split strategy right here, I would personally probably recommend that you don't buy as many red dragon hides, because as you can see, they were a little bit difficult to sell off, and they also are pretty slow to buy. Given that, I would probably invest this more into maybe the black dragon hides and have more of these and a little bit less of the reds. But if you do split up your different colors here, then you can make quite a bit of money. I would say the average amount of money that I make is going to be right around 15 to 20% of the money that I put into it. So if you were to take $1 billion old school RuneScape and you were to invest it into the dragon hides fully, then you can expect to make 150 to 200 million every single time you do this kind of flip. Now this is not a flip that you have to wait a whole year for. As you saw in that graph, it did bounce up and down a lot. And so you can definitely get kind of creative with it, and you can start buying them for maybe a little bit higher than what the bottomed out price is, and you can sell them for, you know, maybe not quite the peak, and then you can make some pretty good flips that way. It is pretty awesome because if you type in the red dragon hide, for example, I'm pretty sure all the dragon hides are the exact same, but they do have 11,000 buy limits, so it is fairly easy for you to invest in these very quickly. It does not take very long to buy them all, especially if you're using alts, then you can very, very quickly get a large amount of these in no time. And if we're looking at right here, as you can see, the actively traded price is $21.25. So like I was saying, you are able to actually buy these for less than what that mid price is showing, which is another reason why you should use the OSRS live wiki prices and not go by the Grand Exchange itself. And then if you look right here, black dragon hides, once again, you can buy these for less than they're even currently going for, $32.67. And then if you sell them for this $36.27, or you can even try selling them for higher than that, because I did sell all these, so I probably could have got more. And then that will be quite a large profit on that. But it really depends on how much you buy them for and how much you sell them for will determine how much you are able to make. But this is a very, very, very easy way to make a large amount of money. If you're doing this pretty consistently, you can pretty easily profit yourself an extra 100 million gold a month. If you're working with a very large amount of money, like billion or more, then you can probably even increase that to higher than that. But what I will do, honestly, is I will usually, I put this on my old school RuneScape main this time around, but typically I will put this on one of my alts, and then I will just simply let it sit there and really not pay much attention to it. I'll just log into it every once in a while to see how many I've bought, and then I will just flip them over to be sold. But this is one of the easiest ways to make money in old school RuneScape for investing, is just to buy into stuff like this. You always know that Dragonhides are going to have demand because they're one of the most popular methods for crafting. They give you extremely fast crafting XP, so these are always going to be used. Another option too is you could invest into the, let's see, Black Dragon leathers. So the only reason why I don't personally do the leathers usually is because there seems to be a bit less of the leathers in the Grand Exchange than there are hides. So you can quite simply just stock the the hides up much quicker than the leathers. But I will say though that the dragon leathers do tend to go a little bit higher on the price, and obviously that is because you have to process them and use like some runes and stuff in order to, runes or gold, in order to make them into the dragon leathers, so that would naturally make them higher. But a lot of players will just buy these and not make their own dragon leather, because that way they can get crafting quicker. So you can also consider investing into leathers rather than hides. But like I said, there are less leathers in the game than there are hides, because every time that someone goes and kills dragons or whatever, then they will just dump all their dragon hides in here, and then you can get them much quicker. Anyway guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. This is just a simple investing method that will definitely make you some good money. If you're looking for more old school RuneScape content, then I am planning on making a bunch. And if you guys are looking to learn how to flip an old school RuneScape, that way you can get some big cash stacks, then check out our RuneScape Discord down below. We have 13,000 people in there, and would love to have you as part of it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.